Hello, Himkant Garu.
Hello.
Himkant Garu, actually, what is mentorship and what is the difference between mentorship and regular coaching?
This is a very good question, and in fact, this is the most frequently asked question to us by students. I think we spend 90% of our time addressing this question because in India, the concept of mentorship has not evolved yet. A lot of people find it very hard to understand it, and most importantly, they think mentorship is like motivation. Unfortunately, that's not true. So probably with this context, I'll be able to help the difference. In a single line, coaching gives you information. And what is coaching? Coaching, a faculty will be explaining a textbook in a video format. That's it. So information is given in a clear context. Now when it comes to mentorship focuses on transformation. So information is given to you like a commodity. Here, transformation is a two-way process because we focus on the individual. Coaching focuses on the book. A book is processed and simplified, and the same information is shared to all students in a regular coaching format. In mentorship, it is largely personalized. We also have group-based format, but in general, what happens is, depending on the student, the solution is customized. Depending on the student, the solution is fine-tuned. So that is the reason why it helps a lot of students who are otherwise stuck in their preparation cycles.
Actually, what you did exactly in this process?
Okay, fine. So if you are asking me in the context of what I was able to do for the students who have cleared with us after 10, 12 attempts and all of that, I'll probably use this framework to give you a clarity. So if you look at the aspects in regular coaching, this is what happens. So the coaching addresses the subject part, coaching for civils, coaching for CA, coaching for CPA. Now what happens is they'll complete the syllabus, there'll be some level of support for revision, and there'll be some level of support for exam presentation. So this is what happens in the coaching ecosystem, either classes or revision lectures or mock tests. That's it. This is what happens in the coaching ecosystem. Now the real game is this, because exam is an individual journey. It depends on the student. It depends on the student mindset. So mindset is not the only thing. When I talk about mindset, it is his ability to think in a particular way. But that is not sufficient, necessary but not sufficient. His thoughts should be converted into action. Somebody who want to study for 10 hours versus somebody actually studying 10 hours is different. Now, a lot of people have the right mindset. Okay, let me study for 10 hours. They think about it and they want to do it, but they're not able to implement it. So routine is the implementation part of the mindset. So what we do is, for each and every student, we fix these two aspects. Now, once we fix these aspects, these are far more easy to be worked upon. Now, without fixing this, if a student repeats the coaching, which is unfortunately happening, they write an exam, they'll fail, they'll come back and repeats the coaching. Other thing, let me choose a different faculty, let me choose a different book, let me choose a different coaching center, and they'll get the same result once again because you're not improving upon it. Unfortunately, in entire India, including the major edtechs, including small coaching centers, there is very, very little or low emphasis on these aspects. So we are the first in India to focus on this along with this. So this is the reason why we're able to achieve exceptional results in mentorship.
Okay. So how you implement in this all?
To talk about it, let's say we discussed about mindset, right? Now, normally what happens is a regular student who has experienced failure, this is the current state of mind for them. Now, most of them have this bad habit of procrastination. So they wake up and instead of studying immediately, they think of studying after 2 hours. Instead of completing their target today, they think of completing the next day. So what happens is when you have too much time, you procrastinate. 3 months before the exam, the student procrastinates. When they have too little time, 1 week before the exam, 1 month before the exam, they succumb to pressure. So when they have too much time, they cannot study. When they have too little time, they cannot study. Either way, they're not able to study. So this is procrastination and self-doubt. Now, people don't understand the concept of success and failure because they're not experienced it, especially students. Now, until 12th graduation, you write an exam, you're expected to clear. It is impossible to fail in any exam until 12th. So they've never experienced failure in life. So they don't have an understanding of this. Once a failure hits, they take it very hard. They start doubting themselves. Now, when you doubt yourself, every step becomes very skeptical. Every step becomes very hesitant which won't give you the right outcome. So they would not be very sure about a lot of things. So that is about self-doubt. And again, they're not able to focus, lack of clarity, mismanagement of time, and
failure
of the past, and they get distracted, lack of consistency, and all of this. So these are all interconnected things. Now there could be even more, but these are a set of interconnected things which a student will be able to correlate. So this is the current state of mind. Now from here they have to move into the desired state. So this is called the desired state. So they should not procrastinate, or very low procrastination. So current state to desired state. We help them to come from there to here. So this is the mentorship process where we focus on helping them build their confidence from a point of doubt. We'll help them to rebuild their confidence. And unless you're focused, your quantity would not matter. Even if a student sits for 10 to 12 hours, if he's not focused, it's complete waste of time. So we give enough emphasis on quality and quantity of preparation. That is exactly how we are going to help them. And overall, they're stuck with a lot of decisions. Continuously, they're not clear about what is the next step. Every day, they spend a lot of time in decision making. So on a daily basis, you should not take decisions. You should be consistently focused on action. So execution and decision making cannot happen parallelly. So we'll give them a perspective and a clear picture of what has to happen across the entire preparation. What should happen next month, what should happen next week, what should happen next day. So all that part, they'll make it very clear for them. And instead of waiting and depending on external sources for motivation, they'll become self-driven. There is no need for external motivation. And most importantly, we'll convert the thoughts, all the thoughts, which there'll be, a lot of people think about studies without actually studying. So we convert that thought into action. So we call this process called mentorship. Like for example, from the current island to desired island. So we'll take them through a journey. So this is a simplified version. Now, would this work? This is the next question which most of the students who are watching it might ask. We have hundreds of case studies, but right now I'll probably show 2-3. So this is Suresh Kalvarala. Now, before joining the process, before joining mentorship, he always, failed in both planning and implementation. Because what happens is, the plans are not very practical. He created a lot of plans, was not able to implement. And what we have changed, so we gave him a very, very effective study routine, which is suited to his requirement and which he will be able to implement. Because planning without implementation is useless. It will create more problems.
Exactly.
And next part is, he was constantly distracted. Like a lot of people have this, even all of us have this, but at least you need to have reasonable consistency and concentration while you're approaching a subject where you're studying something. Otherwise, it's like a bucket with holes. No matter how much water you fill, it will keep leaking. So how much you study, if you're not focused, it will keep leaking. So we're able to enhance its focus using our focus block slots. So there are certain aspects which we follow in the mentorship. He was able to do it. And finally, he was struggling with, again, repeated attempts. And most importantly, he was able to crack both the groups in just one attempt, that too in 80 days. So that is one phenomenal achievement. And even with Sri Kirloskar, he had a separate set of problem. Like he's from Mumbai. Now he was not able to do revisions efficiently. So some students have a problem with the mindset part. Some students will have an issue with routine. And Sri had a significant issue with revision. Was able to complete the syllabus, but revision was not proper. So using our 5-time revision technique, we use a technique called 5-time revision. Using the technique, we were able to help him complete all the revision cycles of all subjects. And he was having an irregular routine. Like he was a bit indisciplined. He's a good student. He's dedicated, but it's not easy to be very disciplined. So we made it a very, very consistent and productive routine. And once again, he already failed twice before coming to us. Now we were able to help him in clear one attempt. Again, both the groups. Now one more case study. So similar issue with Bhavesh also. He was generally confused about, what to do. Like every time, should I study audit? Should I study FR? Should I study from this book? He had a lot of questions throughout the process. So we were able to slowly remove that confusion. We were able to move him from confusion to clarity. And he ended up scoring exemptions. And all these people are very well settled. Most of them are making close to 1 lakh. As I said, within 1 year, all of them will go to 1 lakh per month. Now, I have showed you the framework. I've also showed you the result. So for all those who are watching, this is exactly what I can say.
But why you choose online only to teach them?
See, the point is, we understand that most of the students who are preparing for CA come from very humble background. Like middle class background or they don't have a lot of disposable income. And the other part is even students who can afford, they don't want to depend on the parents. I like that. They have that self-esteem thing. They do not want to unnecessarily spend money from their parents' pocket. They want to manage things on their own. So one hand, I'm somebody who always say that invest as much as you can in your personal growth or clearing exams or qualification skills, all of that. That is there. But there are unnecessary expenses. I'll give an example. Now, when I was taking coaching, like long ago, 14, 15 years ago, I had to go to Chennai. Now, the coaching fee was only so much. The coaching fee, let's say the coaching fee was altogether 70, 80,000 for all the subjects together, which I took for I think 5 or 6 papers. So, which was around 50K. Now, the stay for me to go to Chennai and the stay and for me to move, transportation, all of that was almost 2-3 times more than the coaching fee. And there is a huge waste of time. Every day for a 2-hour class, I used to spend almost 1.5 hours traveling from this point to that point. You have to eat outside food. So all of this is unnecessary. Especially this is not like an office where you have to work with a team, right? You have to sit and study. Now the reason why students go to different places, they think they don't have control over their mind. They think they don't have control over their routine. That's the reason why they take shelter under a library or they go to a different place because they don't have control. Now, once we fix that, once we fix the mind, wherever you sit, that becomes your library. So that is the achievement which we are really proud of, where we are helping them clear their exams at the comfort of their home, sitting in their own study chair without moving an inch. So this is the reason why we are still preferring online. We also see someone wants to meet for one time or a couple of times. We keep accepting offline invitation once in a while. But predominantly it is online because we have students in different countries also who have left India and working but still want to clear CA. So we do have students from the Gulf, most of them. So for all these people, online is a fantastic model, cost effective, efficient, and most importantly, they can continue doing what they are. Some of them are mothers like Akshari. I cannot expect her to leave her kid and come to a different city. And some of them working. Already when they're busy, they cannot move all of that, right? So this is another game-changing move which you are able to create in the mentorship process.
Fine. Thank you. Thanks so much.